We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
Reality Hits with Jason Bermas.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here, and I'm just asking questions. And really, the question of the day is, are we going to see a real ceasefire, stability, and some semblance of peace in the Middle East with this incoming administration? Or are we going to get an unfortunate extension of what is currently going on? Now, I got to tell you right now, yesterday, and it's airing today, and remember, every single day at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, you can watch it over at patriot.tv. I interviewed Claire M. Lopez, a former CIA field officer and a national security expert. You know, somebody who goes on OAN all the time, Newsmax contributor, that sort of thing. Okay? I was not in the least bit encouraged on any level of what I was being told at all. Like, you know, I brought up the ceasefire and, you know, it was almost scoffed at that was actually going to take place, folks. And that's troubling. That's alarming. That's no bueno. Okay. Didn't really have a great answer for Syria and the fact that, again, there was no association that U.S. policy or the United States had anything to do with this new guy coming into Syria either. Okay. Again, I want to believe that this incoming administration is going to de-escalate things enormously and normalize peace in the Middle East. This woman was talking about a restructuring of Gaza, which many of us, when looking at this conflict that is now, gone on for a year and 3 months. Let's hope it doesn't get anywhere near a year and a half. Again, Trump is inaugurated on Monday. I really hope that this is a total and complete priority. But you look at Kushner and his investments, and look, the bottom line is that alliance with Israel on so many levels within the military-industrial complex and the intelligence community, despite the espionage and counter-espionage that takes place, is huge. It's huge. And we all know that the United States, when we're talking about what's going on via policy, etc., is just as bad, if not worse, than Israel, in my opinion. Just because we live here doesn't mean that we can't point out what's going on militarily. I don't like what's going on with Yemen at all, not even a little bit. There's a a genocide that's been going on for a very long time now, by all definitions. And what also was very troubling to me in this interview with Lopez, I tried to reiterate the idea of diplomacy, and it was like diplomacy is like a joke to a sect of these people. It's like, how dare you even imply diplomacy is possible? So what we're going to do is we're going to show you Max Blumenthal and Sam Husseini. I've interviewed Sam before. We follow each other on Twitter. I'm sure he's getting bombarded everywhere right now with requests to be on shows. I'm probably going to throw him something this weekend, see what my schedule is like during the week. But Sam and Blumenthal attended all of these press conferences of not only Blinken, but other individuals, one of which just like smirks at Blumenthal as he's being hauled away, right? And Blumenthal's from the gray zone, everybody. It's disgusting to me. I'm not here to play team baseball, whether it's Republican or Democrat or some flag I'm supposed to pledge allegiance to, no matter who's controlling it, no matter whose policy is there, no matter whether that flag stands for actions that are right or wrong at the time. Sorry, not my shebango. My allegiance is to humanity. And when I look at my country, my allegiance is to an imperfect constitutional republic of checks and balances that has been eviscerated. Especially when we're talking about war crimes in general, okay? So before we get to the video of Blumenthal to start and Sam Husseini, who was, arrested, detained, the whole nine, I do want to remind everybody, can't do it without you. The Buy Me a Coffee link is down below. I want to just quickly thank Christine, Durasaxon, and Castillo, all of which have recently supported the broadcast. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. Could not do it without you. Also consider giving me a follow on X. And you can follow both Sam and Max on X as well, at the Gray Zone News. And, of course, thegrayzone.com is where you can check out Blumenthal's really great alternative media website. One of the best out there. Congrats to him for that. He's been doing this a very long time. Doesn't mean I align with Max Blumenthal or even Sam on every single issue. I think there has to be some kind of pragmatism on what's really going to happen and go on, right or wrong, right? And that doesn't mean that you don't point out the wrongs as it happens, but you also have to realize what the counter to that might be, right? So right now, we're going to show Antony Blinken. And remember, Antony Blinken. Sometimes I want to say it regular. This is the, keep on rocking in the free world guy on the guitar. No, thank you, Mr. Blinken. And they acted like this was going to be like a regular press conference and you were going to get to ask real questions at the end. No, this was Antony Blinken on his way out with the administration leaving, patting himself on the back and talking a whole lot of unmitigated, unchallenged Johnny nonsense. And I'm glad that at the end of the day, these guys are reporters. But at the end of the day, eventually, when you've tried everything to get an actual response, when you are reporting the truth, and there are monsters in front of you, they need to be told as such. They need to be looked at. They don't need to look at a tweet or a news report or a guy like me who's a talking head talking about the situation. They need to look at somebody eye to eye, and you let them know as another human being, you are a monster. This is disgusting. I think that's an important part of society. That doesn't mean get violent with them. Doesn't mean break the law or any of that. It means look them dead in their eye and pierce what may be left of the fraction of a soul, all right? And let them know that our species, our very souls, as a community, as a real community that is diverse, all right, will not accept or allow this. And that one day, your crimes will be answered for, whether in this life or the next. I'm going to shut my mouth. We're going to play the clip. Here is Max Blumenthal doing his thing yesterday.
300 reporters in Gaza were on the receiving end of your bombs. Why did you keep the bombs flowing when we had a deal in May? We all knew we had a deal. Everyone in this room knows we had a deal, Tony, and you kept the bombs flowing. Why did you sacrifice the rules-based order on the mantle of your commitment to Zionism? Why did you allow my friends to be massacred? Why did you allow my friends' homes in Gaza to be destroyed when we had a deal in May? You helped destroy our religion, Judaism, by associating it with fascism. You waved the white flag before Netanyahu. You waved the white flag before Israeli fascism.
We'll have the time to take questions
Your
at the end.
father-in-law was an Israel lobbyist. Your grandfather was an Israel lobbyist. Are you compromised by Israel? Why did you allow the Holocaust of our time to happen? How does it feel to have your legacy be genocide? How does it feel to have your legacy be genocide? You too, Matt. You smirk through the whole thing every day. You smirk through genocide.
Thank you.
So, again, and that last little weasel, I mean, there's plenty of clips of both Sam and Max asking real questions with that guy obfuscating, lying. Think about everything he just said. Right? You know, I watched Shmuley trying to obfuscate the idea that, and I've seen the videos of where this woman was, what was going on. She's clearly targeted. This journalist shot dead by the IDF. And Shmuley's sitting there acting like it's not happening. And when I'm talking to Claire Lopez, instead of calling actions by Israel or the United States militarily in these situations aggressive or predatory, no, they're preemptive. I forget her exact terminology for it, but it was as Orwellian as it gets. They're preemptive measures, countermeasures for things that haven't happened. No, that's preemptive. It's nuts. So once again, thegrayzone.com. Now, we're going to go over to Sam. He said, I barely slept. Here's the best video of what happened yesterday when I confronted Blinken. Also includes the thread of related videos to past deceptions from the State Department. So again, I retweeted this as a great reason to follow both of us. Okay? And if you look right here at this, underneath, where is the entire thread here? It should be, are they breaking it off here? Because what you really want are the confrontations within the State Department. Let me see if it's because that's Sam and it's not decensored news. See, there might be a click, click, boom. Yes, here you go. This is what you want. See, there's little smirkle cakes right here. See them? Little smirkle. Ha ha. Ha ha. It's funny. Ha. Well, we're going to go to Sam Husseini now and what happened with him yesterday.
And I want to thank my colleagues, in particular, Jake Sullivan, Bill Burns, Brett McGurk, for their remarkable skill, tireless dedication over these many months of negotiation.
Will you recognize the Geneva Conventions apply to the Palestinians?
And again, I'm happy to address questions when we have a chance. I'm happy to address questions in a moment. Thank you. As we celebrate the return of hostages in Gaza, including Americans, as we look to relief for the people of Gaza, I'm also thinking of all those U.S. citizens who are held wrongfully, who are hostage in countries around the world.
Do you know about the Hannibal Directive? Miller says he doesn't know about the Hannibal Directive. Do you know about the Hannibal Directive?
Again, I'm happy to address questions.
No, I want him to answer my question.
I look forward to answering
questions. He's going to speak for an hour.
Okay, well, we'll let him speak. We're here for him. Thank you.
He gets to make lots of speeches. Let him answer some questions.
Let
him answer some questions instead of making another speech every day.
Sir, would you like to be escorted out?
Go away.
You don't have the responsibility to tell me where to go. Do you want to be escorted out or not?
I want him to
Thank you.
answer
Okay,
questions.
then let's be quiet.
I'm
I
a
look forward to
journalist.
answering questions in a minute.
I'm a
Thank
journalist.
you.
I'm not a potted plant.
Everyone will have an opportunity to ask questions in just a minute. Thank you.
Miller has explicitly told me he will not answer my questions. I'm justified in what I'm doing.
I have no greater pleasure in this job than crossing off a list I carry in my pocket,
You don't want to
the
end up
names
on
of
the
those
website.
who have been arbitrarily
You will
detained
live with yourself.
and unjustly held hostage, and bringing them home, returning them to their families, returning them to their loved ones. Finally, I
Get
just
your
wanted
hands
to share
off
this
me.
morning.
Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. Answer a damn question.
I look
Do you know
forward to
about the
answering
Hannibal
questions in a few
Directive?
minutes.
Do you know about Israel's nuclear weapons? Everybody from the ICJ. I was sitting here quietly, and now I'm being manhandled by 2 or 3 people. You pontificate about a free press. You pontificate about a free press. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. I am asking questions after being told by Matt Miller that he will not answer my questions until I'm asking
Please,
questions.
sir, respect the process. We'll have an opportunity to take questions in a few minutes.
Wasn't the point of the May 31st statement to block the ICJ orders? You blocked the ICJ orders. You
Please, sir, respect the process. Thank you.
Oh, respect the process. Respect the process. Well, everybody from Amnesty International, to the ICJ, saying that Israel's doing genocide and extermination, and you're telling me to respect the process. Criminal! Why aren't you in The Hague? Why aren't you in The Hague? Why aren't you in The Hague?
Sam Husseini, Husseini.org, Husseini.org. But there is a direct link, I'm sure, from his Twitter page at Sam Husseini. There it is right there, Husseini.org. Look, good for him. Like I said, and the thing is, a guy like that, it's not easy for him to get work. He has to go through Substack. He has to go through people like you, right? It is difficult work. I want the death to stop everywhere. I'm just not down with it. You're not selling me on it because of their ideal set or their religion. Look, there's a lot of evil in the world. There's a lot of things that I don't agree with, all right? But I damn well know I don't agree with AI-driven terrorist targets. I don't agree with blowing things up remotely in civilian areas. I don't agree with that. That's baseline. All right? I mean, I go on with 100,000 other things that I don't agree with. And I know my government is dirty and corrupt. And I damn well know that our allies, when it comes to the top tier, they're dirty and corrupt too. I want to believe Trump 2.0 is going to be different. I don't know how much I can, because I also don't think that we just let Benjamin Netanyahu and that gang do whatever they want unchecked, right? See, especially if we're going to ally with them. Just my thoughts on the matter. Folks, you know the drill. Thumbs it up, subscribe, share, check out all the documentary films that are free. Fabled Enemies, Loose Change, Final Cut, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture. Check out the show over at patriot.tv. And please consider going over to the Buy Me a Coffee, or there are other links down below. We are going to try to get remonetized on YouTube. I'm not holding my breath. We'll probably do a live stream about it sometime over the weekend. Guys, you know the drill. It's not about left or right. It's always about right and wrong. I absolutely love you guys, and we'll see you all on the flip side.